In a sea of pink, protesters in Jakarta are marching against police brutality and wasteful government spending. Hundreds of women on Wednesday carried brooms, which they say symbolized a need to sweep away the state's dirt. Led by students, workers, and rights groups, protests have spread around the world's third-largest democracy. They intensified after a police vehicle hit and killed a motorcycle taxi driver last week. On Wednesday, Indonesian authorities fired one of the officers involved in the death in hopes of quelling the protests. Several have died in the demonstrations, which have sparked some looting and rioting, and have been met with tear gas and rubber bullets. President Prabowo Subianto said the military and police would stand firm, and that some of the unrest bore the signs of terrorism and treason. The fired officer, one of 7 in the police vehicle that hit and killed a motorcycle driver, said he never intended to kill anyone and was only doing his job. He said he was considering an appeal.
Indonesian protesters took shelter in a university building in West Java Monday night as clashes erupted outside. Officers fired tear gas and rubber bullets into crowds, authorities said Tuesday. The first time they've done so at demonstrators on or near university campuses. It's raised further tensions over unrest that has left 10 people dead since last week. The protests began in the capital Jakarta, targeting government spending such as enhanced perks for lawmakers. They escalated into rioting and looting after a police vehicle hit and killed a motorcycle taxi driver. Demonstrators have since spread nationwide. This unrest near the Islamic University of Bandung and Pasundan University is almost 90 miles from the capital. A police official said officers did not enter the two universities' campuses, but instead tried to break up crowds of, quote, non-student protesters around the premises. The UNISBA student body accused security forces of seeking to silence dissent, saying they, quote, brutally attacked the campus. Islamic Student Union head Raviv Tuanku al-Said said one student was critically injured when hit by rubber bullets on his campus.
We remain steadfast in what we are fighting for today, at this very moment, namely our campus at Bandung Islamic University, which is indeed a space for our learning. If there is militarization or if the military has come to our campus, there will no longer be a safe zone for us to engage in intellectual pursuits.
President Prabowo Subianto warned on Monday that the police and military would stand firm against violent escalations. The United Nations Rights Office called for accusations of rights violations by security forces to be investigated.
Indonesia's capital has seen tensions rise, with students promising further protests, after a motorcyclist died, having been hit by a police vehicle. The ride-sharing driver was hit at the site of violent clashes in Jakarta on Thursday, as police were trying to disperse demonstrators protesting against lawmakers' pay and education funding. Police said the 7 crew of the armoured vehicle have been arrested and an investigation is underway. The protest call for Friday afternoon in the capital of Southeast Asia's largest economy prompted a number of schools to allow students to leave early and businesses asking employees to work from home. Meanwhile, the funeral for driver Affan Kurniawan was attended by hundreds of fellow ride-sharing motorcycle drivers. In a video message, President Prabowo Subianto called for calm and expressed condolences for the death of Kurniawan.
Once again, I am shocked and disappointed by the excessive actions of the officers. I have ordered a thorough and transparent investigation into last night's incident, and the officers involved must be held accountable. If it is found that they acted beyond the bounds of proprietary and applicable regulations, we will take the strongest possible action in accordance with the law.
On Monday, hundreds of demonstrators tried to break into the Indonesian parliament in a protest against what they called excessive pay and perks for legislators. That came after local media reported this month that parliamentarians were paid upwards of 100 million rupiah, or just over $6,000 a month. Although Indonesia is Southeast Asia's largest economy, The average monthly income is the equivalent of $190 US.
Been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing.